Hey guys, TechFight, and today I've got another review of a budget mechanical gaming keyboard. This time it's the Gamakei MK61. So guys, let's get into this. Just quickly, thank you to Banggood for sending this keyboard out to review. My priority is obviously to give you guys a honest review, and similarly they've said that's important to them as well, so on with the video. This keyboard will set you back about $55 or £40 in the UK, which puts it in about the same price range as the GK61, which I'll get onto in a minute. But after watching this video, if you'd like to see a comparison of these two, then let me know in the comments. So first of all, the general things, it's obviously a 60% keyboard with 61 keys. You don't get dedicated arrow keys, which is something I personally like, but if you're just buying a small compact gaming keyboard, most people will be able to live without them. And it's hot swappable. It uses optical mechanical switches, and you can buy it with a variety of Gateron switches. My model has yellow switches, which I really do personally like. They're very similar to a red with slightly more force. What I did really like is that in the box, along with your standard cable, keycap holder and things like that, Gamakei actually included different switches for you to try, so you can hot swap between a red, a blue, a brown, a black and a yellow. So if you know you've bought yellows like me, and let's say I wasn't sure I wanted to change them, I can have a go with one of the other switches, which is really cool to see, and I think more hot swap manufacturers should do that. For its construction as a whole, it is fairly solid. It's, once again, I'm comparing it to the GK61 a little bit because that's similar price range. It's not quite as heavy, it's not quite as sturdy. That being said, it's still got some chunk to it. It's really solid overall. It's not got a lot of flex in it or anything if you try to bend it. And obviously it's a keyboard, it's not getting abused like that. So you're going to have absolutely no issues with the build quality, hopefully. I've certainly noticed no issues or had no concerns in the week or so that I've been using this as my main keyboard. Obviously though, it is a budget keyboard, things aren't going to be perfect. For example, this one does have a little bit of a rattle if you rattle it. Once again though, why is that really a problem? Everything seems to stay in well. It's a fairly cheap keyboard and it comes with some decent features. A big standout one for this over something like the GK61 is these really nice double shot PBT pudding keycaps. They don't feel quite as good as my HyperX ones. That being said, they do feel really nice. They look really cool, and for this price, I don't think you're going to get a better looking keyboard. You also get plenty of customization with the lighting. Once again, you can read that in the instructions and you probably be able to get it to do anything you want. There is actually some software for this keyboard as well, which I'll link below. It's pretty basic, but it will do the job for letting you customize the lighting a bit easier than using the function keys and the various different options, and lets you do some things like macros and reprogram some keys. That being said, all the lighting stuff and whatnot is doable on the keyboard itself if that's something you want to do. As for the main typing and gaming experience, obviously the feel is going to be a little bit different depending on which switch you opt for, but they are optical switches, which is really good. I've spoke about them before, and while in reality you're not going to notice any difference, they are on paper more reliable and a little bit faster, which is really cool to see. I spoke about these before, but instead of touching some metal pins, you're instead disrupting a light beam, which will activate the key press on the computer, which is obviously just a little bit quicker and more reliable. You basically get what you expect with a keyboard of this price point, and if you're not sure what I mean by that, what I mean is just overall, the keys are going to have a little bit more wobble, things like that. They're just not as high quality and as great feeling as something like a more expensive keyboard. You can go all the way up with keyboards and spend loads of money on custom keyboards that are absolutely perfect, but in reality, when you're using it, when you're typing on it, it feels completely fine. I'm personally a big advocate for these budget keyboards. I think they're a really good, cheap way for people to get themselves a mechanical keyboard, get some experience with different switches and have a cool looking, good performing keyboard. As long as you're coming from a membrane or a fairly cheap keyboard, this is going to feel like a decent upgrade. Going to mechanical is just something that the first time I did, I was really happy and I really enjoyed it. If you're interested, here's a sound test and typing test of what this keyboard sounds like, but if you're not interested, you can skip it here or look at the timestamps. If you're enjoying this video so far, then make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. The best place to ask me any questions and just have a chat is in the Techify Discord. Some last little things to mention: this is obviously not Bluetooth. Some of the keyboards I've reviewed at this price point or a little bit more do have dual mode. They can be connected wirelessly. This one doesn't have that. For most people, that's fine anyway. Most people are going to use it as wired as a gaming keyboard. If you do want something for this price point that has got Bluetooth, then check out the Blitzwolf BW-KB1. I think that's all I need to say. So what's my verdict on the Gamerke MK61? Well, it's just a few quid more than something like the RK61, which doesn't use gate-on switches, isn't hot swappable, and to be honest, I think it's worth the extra money. These keycaps also look really cool. That being said, I don't know if it's necessarily the one I'd buy with this money. The GK61 just feels a bit more high quality and a bit more sturdy, so that's maybe what I'd go with. That being said, it is perfectly fine for the price, and most people who are going to get this are going to love it and have no issues with it. For this price point of just $55, it's a great entry into the mechanical keyboard market. If you're interested though in a comparison with the GK61, I'd happily make that because I'd like to test this again and see which one I actually prefer. If you enjoyed this video, then please leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more keyboard reviews. If you want to look as cool as me, and I know you do, you can get yourself some merch at techify.co.uk/merch. Since it makes sense as I've talked about it, for your next video go check out my review of the GK61. Thank you for watching and I'll see you guys next time.